Hello and welcome. I am Talkos from Maniacal Laughter, and tonight I'm going to be reading to you from Worms of the Earth by Robert E. Howard. Worms of the Earth stars Bran McMorn. If one is familiar at all with Howard, then usually they're familiar with Conan, and Bran shares quite a few similarities. They're both warriors, both barbarians, but Bran McMorn is a much more tragic figure than Conan was. He is the last king of his people. He knows that Rome and all the other tribes are pushing in on them, and that once he dies, it will be gone. He can stem the tide for a little while, but there will be no happy ending for their people. They have fallen, and they are degenerate from what they once were. They once ruled over the world, and now they are about to be trodden under by the next great empire. This day I stood still and watched a man of mine die on the cross of Rome. What his name or his rank, I do not know. I do not care. He might have been a faithful, unknown warrior of mine. He might have been an outlaw. I only know that he was mine. The first scents he knew were the scents of the heather. The first light he saw was the sunrise on Pictish hills. He belonged to me, not to Rome. If punishment was just, then none but me should have dealt it. If he were to be tried, none but me should have been his judge. The same blood flowed in our veins, the same fire maddened our brains. In infancy we listened to the same old tales, and in our youth we sang the same old songs. He was bound to my heartstrings, as every man and every woman and every child of Pictland is bound. It was mine to protect him. Now it is mine to avenge him. But in the name of the gods, Bran, expostulated the wizard, take your vengeance in another way. Return to the heather, mass your warriors, join with Cormac and his Gaels, and spread a sea of blood and flame the length of the great wall. All that I will do, grimly answered Bran. But now I will have vengeance such as no Roman ever dreamed of. Ha! What do they know the interest of the mysteries of this ancient isle, which sheltered strange life before Rome rose from the marshes of the Tiber? Bran, there are weapons too foul to use, even against Rome. Bran barked short and sharp as a jackal. Ha! There are no weapons I would not use against Rome. My back is to the wall. By the blood of fiends, has Rome fought me fair? Bah! I am a barbarian king with a wolfskin mantle and an iron crown, fighting with my handful of bows and broken pikes against the queen of the world. What have I? The heather hills, the wattle huts, the spears of my shock-headed tribesmen, and I fight Rome with her armored legions, her broad fertile plains and rich seas, her mountains and her rivers and her gleaming cities, her wealth, her steel, her gold, her mastery, and her wrath. By steel and fire I will fight her, and by subtlety and treachery, by the thorn in the foot, the adder in the path, the venom in the cup, the dagger in the dark. Aye, his voice sang somberly, and by the worms of the earth. Here you can see something that crosses over with a bit of the Lovecraft mythos. The worms of the earth, and Lovecraft and Howard had a great correspondence going on at the time on the dark old ones and the great old ones, some of the Cthulhu mythos. Here is a second passage that also is one of the I am statements for Bran. Bran laughed at the closing ring of fire, shrank back at the savagery in his laughter. Drawing his sword with a soul-chilling rasp of steel, he set his back against what he hoped was a solid stone wall. Facing the glittering eyes, with his sword gripped in his right hand and his dirk in his left, he laughed as a blood-hungry wolf snarls. "Aye," he growled, "I am a Pict, a son of those warriors who drove your brutish ancestors before them like chaff before the storm, who flooded the land with your blood and heaped high your skulls for a sacrifice to the moon woman. You who fled of old before my race, dare ye now snarl at your master? Roll on me like a flood now, if ye dare. Before your viper fangs drink my life, I will reap your multitudes like ripened barley. Of your severed heads I will build a tower, and of your mangled corpses I will rear up a wall. Dogs of the night, vermin of hell, worms of the earth, rush in and try my steel. When death finds me in this dark cavern, your living will howl for the scores of your dead, and your black stone will be lost to you forever. For only I know where it is hidden, and not all the tortures of all the hells could wring the secret from my lips." Well, I hope you enjoyed that, and it inspires you to go pick up some works by Robert E. Howard. This is actually the collected stories of Bran McMorn that they put out recently, with some wonderful illustrations by Gary Yanni. There's more to Howard than just Conan, and I hope that you are able to enjoy the fierce savagery and wonderful imagery that Robert E. Howard was able to conjure up in all of his stories. Anyways, this is Talkos from Maniacal Laughter, hoping you enjoyed, and I'll talk to you later.